The Chicago Bears are coming out of a bye week, an important bye week in which we were looking for more health to come out of this bye week for the Chicago Bears. Fortunately, a kind of not so promising injury update to Jaquan Brisker has kind of thrown that off a little bit. We're going to talk about that, plus the injury update to Jayden Daniels as well for the big-time matchup coming up this Sunday. And Cole Kmet has just given a lot of praise towards Caleb Williams and why he's helped the offense turn around so much. We're going to talk about all that plus more on today's Chicago Bears Central.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host here, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this content for today, y'all. And I want to start off with this. So Jayden Daniels is unfortunately now listed as week to week. This was a big matchup of Jayden versus Caleb Williams and all those things. And now there's some things throwing that into doubt. And overall, like, the Washington Commanders have to do what's best for Jayden Daniels. Like I said, they listed him as now week to week. And we looked it up. There's never been a time where a player's really been, or it happens very, very rarely that a player's listed as week to week and then turns around and plays that first upcoming Sunday. So, we'll see what happens there. I, for one, am really looking forward to that potential matchup. Not even for the petty reasons. You guys know I could be a very petty person, but it's not even about that because I actually enjoy the way that Jayden Daniels plays football. I think overall, like, of course, you get talk from the fan base, some even within the Chicago Bears, like, that talk about the Chicago Bears and, oh my God, we got it wrong. We should have picked Jayden. And of course, you have people outside of it, the Chicago Bears haters, like, oh my God, you picked the wrong quarterback. But at the end of the day, just for the matchup purposes of it, I would, two rookies from the same class, number one, number two. I was just excited to see, like, what that matchup would look like and how these guys both navigate the defenses that they would have faced up against and everything. And, maybe something crazy and miraculous happens to where Jayden Daniels is able to play. I mean, his health has to be at the forefront of that. But listen, if it is Mariota who ends up there taking center changes, nothing for the Chicago Bears. The Bears still need to go out there and win this football game. Regardless of who's out there at quarterback, it doesn't change what I want to see my Bears team do. Of course, it changes, especially for the NFL flexing this game. I'm sure the NFL is now looking like, damn, we chose to flex this game, and now Jayden may not play. But with the rib injury, those can be very tricky in particular. And for a quarterback, especially having a rib injury, you want to make sure that you are being very protective over that. So I'm sure the Commanders are going to do everything they can to make sure that Jayden Daniels is healthy for the rest of the season. They're not really just focused on this matchup with the Chicago Bears. And so regardless of the NFL storylines, the NFL flexing the game, all that shit don't matter. You got to take care of your people. And so, ultimately, I know this is going to change a lot of the hype around this game from some of the more NFL casuals. But like I said, overall for the Bears, it changes nothing. We got to go to work, right? We got to get ready to to lace up our cleats, to go back out there on this field and to take care of business. That's what it's all about. Take care of that business, right? And that's what Chicago Bears are doing. This defense, it don't change. Whoever's the quarterback, you go after and you get after that quarterback. You try to put that quarterback on their ass and make them have to think every time they snap the ball, is my life in jeopardy, right? All those things still stay the same for the Chicago Bears, and I hope the Bears are coming out of this bye week prepared. I hope they look crisp. I hope they look refreshed. And listen, we got some tall tests. The last 11 games of this season for the Chicago Bears are big, and we're going to talk about that a little bit at the end of this. I'm going to do a predictions over my record for the Bears for the rest of the way. But I think ultimately right now, man, not having Jayden out there changes some things, but it doesn't really change what the result the Bears need to get. Go out there and get shit done. Now, one thing that could affect how well the Bulls get shit done in that game is the injury to Jaquan Brisker. And Matt Eberflus gave an update yesterday is that Jaquan Brisker has still not cleared concussion protocol. Now, us having a week off and him not clearing it does bring about a little bit of concern, right? But let's not worry too much yet. I think Wednesday's injury report is going to be the key thing there, so we'll look out for that on Wednesday. If anything happens, whether they officially sit him or anything, if news drops, we drop here at Chicago Bears Central. You'll be getting that breaking news update episode and video shortly thereafter. But much like I said with Jayden Daniels, the Bears are focused on more than just this upcoming game. And much like we showed in the last game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, we have enough out there to be able to weather the storm. The next man up mentality is a real thing, and it has to be there for the Chicago Bears, and we'll see what they can take care of. Now, Kyler Gordon, as far as that, Matt Eberflus said he's working through his hamstring injury, and we'll see where he's at Wednesday as well. Tyreek Stevenson was there through walkthrough. Scott Daly, the long snapper, was back as well. And so, when it comes down to it, we're getting players back healthy. No, nothing on Ryan Bates as of yet. Of course, we'll wait to see what happens with that, and hopefully he's able to play regardless of what his role is when he initially comes back. But Matt Eberflus did say that Jaquan Brisker, exact quote, has a couple of more steps to go before being cleared. So, we'll see what happens with that. It is possible as well. Somebody pointed out that with the rules around a bye week, it's a matter of timing for him to be cleared for Wednesday practice more so than it is that he just isn't clearing something that he's already been checked. But, we want to bring you the full update here. And overall, like I said, we weathered the storm last week. Having our full secondary healthy is important, especially for what we're trying to finish this season with. But we got more health coming back than not, right? I hope that Terrell Smith's back sooner rather than later. Tyreek Stevenson's making his way back. Kyler Gordon's making his way back. And this defense, a defense that is a playoff caliber defense, it's important to have all those guys rocking and ready to go because, listen, the Bears, they got a gauntlet coming. And, I know we keep talking about it. We've been talking about it for a while now. But listen, it is around the corner. And what the Bears are going to face off and what they're going to have to go through in this division is going to be such an important, the story of this season, right? And I'm going to go through game by game and do my predictions on how the Chicago Bears could and how I hope they finish this season here at the end of this episode. But overall, you want your health. You want your guys out there, right? And it's football. You're going to have players that's banged up. You're going to have players that you're going to have players that are going to miss time. It's going to happen. It's bound to happen. It's a physical. It's a battle out there every single game. Make no mistake about it. It's a battle. And so, you want your guys to be healthy. But as we get through and go through this season, health is going to be hugely important as we finish this. Now, we'll get into it. I keep getting ahead of myself. We'll get into it. Now, Cole Kmet has talked about the Bears. He was asked what has contributed to the Chicago Bears turning their offense around. And he says this: it's hard not to say quarterback. The quarterback looks really good. And the faith that this team has had in Caleb Williams, we talked a little bit about it before, right? The Bears throwing the full playbook at Caleb Williams has been best for his growth and development. And I think it did contribute a little bit to the rocky start, but it is contributing. And Caleb Williams building the chemistry with his players, on top of Shane Waldron using the talent that we have here a lot better as well. But we're seeing the development that we've been wanting to see from the Chicago Bears team for a while now. And that's good. We're going and trending in the right direction. And again, I know everybody's going to say it. It's against the bad competition, Haize. They haven't been the best defenses in the world, and you're absolutely right. But like I said before, if the Bears were struggling against those teams, people will be just as loud at saying, how could we struggle against this defense? He's getting the job done. And that's something that we haven't always been able to say about a Chicago Bears offense, is that it's gotten the job done against the teams that it should get the job done against. And building that confidence is important. And Caleb Williams, for people, the Caleb Williams deniers, right, that try to act like what Caleb Williams is doing is not solid for a rookie quarterback, you got to really look at the numbers. 199 passing attempts so far for Caleb Williams, 65% completion percentage. When you look at that, Caleb Williams ranks with some really good quarterbacks. When you look at Baker Mayfield, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, Andrew Luck, he's right up there with those guys. Those guys had all 200 attempts, right? And he has the highest passer rating out of all those with less attempts. The completion percentage. Then you look at passer rating. He does have the higher passer rating out of all those guys through their first 6 starts in their football career. These are guys that all had varying different success going on into the NFL for sure, right? 1,317 yards, 9 touchdowns. Now, he doesn't have as many yards as those other guys. Those guys all had at least 1,400 yards and more, but he has more touchdowns than all those guys. The most that any one of those guys had as far as touchdowns was Baker Mayfield with 8. He also has the lowest interception number of those guys. The only one to tie him that did it was Joe Burrow. All those other guys had more interceptions than him. And sack number. He's higher up on that sack number list. 24 was the only one that had more than him. That was Joe Burrow, who had 24. You look at Baker Mayfield, he was sacked 20 times. And then it's Caleb. Trevor Lawrence and Andrew Luck were sacked less than 20 times. Luck 16. Trevor Lawrence 10 times, right? in that. So what Caleb Williams is doing, and I think it's easy to kind of overlook because of how the discontent with the Bears offense isn't putting up a lot of, well, they're putting up solid number of points, but like they started off the season kind of on a sour note. And I think some Bears fans, on top of the sour note we started off on with us not playing the best competition yet, are kind of slow to realize how good Caleb Williams has been, especially over the last 3 weeks. Now it has to maintain. Want to be clear. It has to maintain. But when you see Caleb Williams and where he ranks on lists of rookies, he's already on pace to be the best Bears rookie quarterback we've ever seen, especially, with him starting every game his rookie year. It is what it is. Caleb Williams is having a really good rookie season. And we got things that we got to grow and develop for. Everybody said coming into that Caleb Williams was coming into one of the best situations a rookie quarterback has ever come into, and he's taking advantage of that. We still got things. The work is not done. I do not want to present this ever as boom, Caleb Williams good. We're off to the races. No, but the things and the signs are there. And as Caleb Williams continues to define his rookie season and continues to prepare himself for what's coming down the pipeline as far as these tests that are coming, listen, there's a lot of reason to have some faith in what Caleb and what this Bears team overall is doing, which leads us to our last topic for today. I want to predict the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears right now are 4-2 with 11 games left. And what that means is that if the Bears even finish one game above 500, the Bears can have a 10-win season. If they can go 2 games above 500 and finish 7-4 over these last 11 games, we're talking about an 11-win team in Caleb Williams' rookie year. That is huge, right? And that puts us in competing in our division for a divisional crown. Now, I don't think that the Bears are going to win that. If I have to be fair with this, that's a lot to ask and throw on a team with a rookie quarterback, which had as many changes as the Bears have had. But let's go through this, right? Next up, week 8, we have a game against the Washington Commanders. And that I have that game as a win for the Chicago Bears. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be a cakewalk for the Chicago Bears. No, not by any stretch of the imagination. It's going to be a matchup like with all the Bears. It's going to be a tough matchup. The Bears are going to have to execute on both sides of the football. But when you look at the Washington Commanders, and especially if Jaden Daniels is out, while that team is still a talented team, make no freaking mistake about it, I think that the Bears have enough. What we're able to bring as far as pass rush is going to be big. Now, the Washington Commanders are 3rd in the league as far as yards per game as an offense. You cannot overlook that. But when you look at the Bears defense, we allow 292 yards per game. I like how that works out. I like how it works out in favor of the Chicago Bears as well. And I think that the Bears are gonna play pretty favorably in that game. Again, it's gonna be a tough matchup. You gotta watch out for what they're gonna be able to do both in the ground and on the air, which definitely takes a bit of a ding with Jaden Daniels out. But you still gotta watch out for it. The game against the Washington Commanders, though, I got that as a win for the Chicago Bears. Then you got 2 matchups coming against the Arizona Cardinals and the New England Patriots, both teams that are struggling right now, right? And you look at the Arizona Cardinals and where they are 3-4 right now. Solid enough record, right? You look at where they are as far as offense and defense. The Arizona Cardinals are a team that ranks not bad, but not great either. Right in the middle of the pack, basically, as far as offense. They're averaging 333 yards per game offensively. Again, the Bears defense, I kind of trust that defense a little bit. That defense has my faith. But then when you look at the Arizona Cardinals defense, they're ranked towards the bottom of the league in defense. They're allowing 376 yards per game. This is going to be another tough matchup for the Bears, but I think the Bears can win this one. That's the Bears winning 2 out of their last 11 games. Then you have a game against the New England Patriots, right? And this is a Patriots team that it just isn't good. This is not the Patriots team is old. They're the 3rd worst offense in the league, only getting 262 yards per game. You also look at the Patriots defense, which isn't nearly as bad as where their offense is, but it's still not a team that I'm looking at and saying they don't put any fear in my heart. Can the Bears come out of the bye week after already being on a 3-game win streak and win 3 games in a row? There's going to be a letdown coming in there somewhere. But with the Patriots defense also allowing over 300 yards per game, I don't know. I trust our guys. Is that a little bit of front running on my part? Maybe. I have the Bears winning their first 3 games out of the bye week. And then we get into the game against the Green Bay Packers at home in Chicago at Soldier Field. And this is going to be an interesting matchup. And while I want to be a big homer in this and pick us to win against the Green Bay Packers, it's been a difficult thing for the Bears to overcome in recent years. I do think the Packers win this first game, Oh, we're going to get it back in blood, though. Make no mistake about it. I think that we lose this game against the Packers. We're bound to have a letdown. Winning that many games in a row is hard, especially for a team with a rookie quarterback. I think we lose that initial game against the Green Bay Packers. That puts the Bears at 3-1 coming out of the bye week. Then you have the next game against the Minnesota Vikings. And unfortunately, that's for them. That's at home in Chicago. And guess what? The Chicago Bears play pretty good against the Minnesota Vikings at home. And I think that we're going to win this game. I think that we are going to play pretty well. We're going to rebound from this loss against the Green Bay Packers, 4-1 coming out of the bye week. Next up, against Detroit in Detroit. Man, this is an interesting one. I really want to pick the Bears to win this game. But again, some letdowns are going to be there. We're in Detroit. I know Detroit has had some injuries there. Aiden Hutchinson's down. David Montgomery ended up coming back for that team. I think the Detroit Lions take this game. So that puts the Bears at 4-2 coming out of the bye week. Next up against San Francisco. San Francisco has had a lot of losses to that team, a lot of key losses to that team. They're still a really damn good football team. They're going to still win a lot of games. But again, I'm a Chicago Bears fan. Win for the Chicago Bears. 6-2 coming out of the bye week. So, that's what I have the Bears. No, so I'm not saying 6-2. What am I talking about? 5-2 coming out of the bye week. There you go. 5-2 coming out of the bye week for the Bears. Next up, a game against the Minnesota Vikings. This one's in Minnesota. I think the Bears win this one. 6-3 coming out of the bye week. Yeah, 6-3 coming out of the bye week. I think that we got this one personally. It is what it is when it comes down to it. So, again, another game against the Detroit Lions. I got us winning this game as well. I think we get this game back in blood. I think we could take this one against the Detroit Lions. It's Seattle, another letdown game. I'm going to pick Seattle to win this game. And then I think we could win against the Green Bay Packers. I think that the Bears are going to get 6 to 7 wins coming out of this bye week. I think we can go 6-5 or 7-4. I think we can really do that. Now, is that me putting too much on my team? Maybe, possibly. But I think this Bears team can win 10 or 11 games coming out of the bye. And I think that the Bears are going to finish the season extremely strong. And I think that this is a big route to go for the Chicago Bears. I think that this Bears team, again, I think the Bears can win 6 or 7 games coming out after the bye week. And I think that would sit the Bears. That's a playoff team. That's what that is. That is a playoff team. That is a team that you look at and say, let's go out and do some shit. So that's my thing. That's my personal opinion. I would love to hear how you guys have the Chicago Bears. Is that a little bit too much faith before we see the Bears playing off against some of the better teams in the NFL? Yes. I'm here to tell you, yes, it is. But at the end of the day, I don't give a shit. I think that this Bears team is going to surprise a lot of people. They got to go out and prove it. Make no mistake about it. They got to go out and prove it. I think they're going to split most of the divisional games, but I think that they have the chance to do that. That's my personal opinion. You guys can let me know how you feel down below. Let's go ahead and get into this. We got a voicemail that I want to play today. This one's from Ant the Big Homie.
What up, Haize? This is your boy Ant the Big Homie. I'm sitting here watching these divisional games between the Vikings and the Lions. Bro, I think we need another pass rusher. I think we need to go ahead and gamble and go after Max Crosby. I feel he don't want to. I think he said that he don't want to be there for a rebuild, and the Raiders is not what's popping right now. So I say either go after Max or Myles Garrett. And the reason why I said that, because I'm watching Detroit, bro. Jared Goff is on a whole nother level right now. Like, he's starting game 14 for 14, 17 for 17. We need pressure on him. For us to get out this division, we need to win it. Just my thoughts. What you think? Love the show. Peace, bro.
All right, listen, and here's the thing. If the Bears do go out and they gamble and make a splash move, getting a Max Crosby type player, getting a Myles Garrett type player, if they do that, listen, that is a move that shows that you are trying to win this division. You are not just trying to sit around, win some football games, and let the chips. That's an aggressive move to say, we aren't just trying to be solid. We're not just settling for making the playoffs. We're trying to make our move now, right? And if the Bears were to do that, listen, am I going to be mad at it? No. Now, you got to ask yourself, is what the assets of the Bears ready to give up to get that done, right? And do they want to spend more on a defensive line that's already a strong factor, or do they want to do more and get some offensive line in help in here, right? But I think an aggressive move like that, if the Bears do that, listen, that's going to be ridiculous. If the Bears were to make a move to get Myles Garrett or Max Crosby, that changes the expectations for being a team that you want to see make the playoffs and compete in their division to a team that's like, no, we're trying to win this division. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to win this division, and we're trying to go for an NFC championship. That's what that move would signify. For what the Bears are already giving to Hap, listen, that'd be ridiculous. And if it does happen, we're gonna be the first to celebrate here. We popping bottles in this bitch, right? So, hey, if they do it, they do it. Now, I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I think that's what a big part is. I don't want to get my hopes up for moves like that. But what I will say, if the Bears do make a move like that, the excitement level around here is gonna be on 20. So we'll see. I would love to see if they do it. And you're right. To compete in this division, you may need a move like that. And if you get it done, shout out to Ryan Poles. If Ryan Poles makes a move like that, so many people are going to have to just shut up when it comes to their criticisms on Ryan Poles. And we'll see what the future holds, Ant. Let's see. I wouldn't be mad at it, though. But that's my time for today, guys. Make sure you guys are following us at Shy Bear Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. ChicagoBearCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related, but that's thanks to you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.